everyone. I'm Michael from Carbon Analytics, and we do basically what the name on the tin says. We help companies assess their carbon footprint, and we do this because it's a big, important issue. Millions of people are going to be affected. Even this room right now, you can probably feel is warming as we've been in here. And it's going to continue to warm. But it's not just a big problem for the planet, it's a big problem for businesses. Already around the world, businesses spend about 8 billion euros every year just measuring their carbon impact. And that's really only a tiny fraction of businesses doing that so far. And believe it or not, soon all businesses, even yours, those that own it, will, for one reason or another, will want to measure their carbon footprint too. Either you'll find that your young employees are starting to ask, hey, what's this business I'm working for? Are we a good business? Are we hurting the world? Are we helping it? Or one of your customers will say, we'd love to buy from you, but we really need to understand your carbon footprint policy or your climate change policy. Or a regulator will come knocking. In France, they're starting to say that any supplier to a major company now needs to report their carbon footprint to that company so they can report to the government. We expect that that'll happen in the UK soon. So I'm going to try to do something very risky. I'm going to try to do a full kind of live demo and add a real company online and have it processed live. Inevitably, something will not work, but we'll try right here. So I guess first, I'll very quickly scroll through the homepage where you'll learn that this product is free for small businesses. It's always going to be free. We have these very fancy badges that you can earn and put on your website and make everyone you work with feel better. And that we work with Xero. So if you're a small business that uses Xero for accounting, this will be very, very simple for you. And now we're going to try it out.
Make a bigger button.
Cool, thank you. And so now it's asking me, I've connected to Xero, so I'm about to import all my data from 2013 forward. And then what should happen is it should analyze all that data and then produce a carbon footprint report for me for the last reporting period from my accounts. So that's what's happening right here. So we've worked pretty hard to get it down to this few steps, but it's obviously still a lot of steps. If you can imagine any ways to reduce that, that would be a great feedback for us. Well, it looks like there's a lot of transactions, but it's basically processing them all. Well, anyways, based on that so far, any feedback so far that you'd add?
Yeah, I think you're perhaps allowing yourself to be distracted by concerns about things that you can't necessarily fix in the short term. And my suggestion is that you just say, what's the customer journey that we are absolutely smashing right now? And then just optimize that to death and forget the rest, because you can't win that battle. So if it's Xero or if it's going through people's accountants or whatever, just make the perfect customer journey around that. And then you can use that to leverage your resource to go and build new custom. I'm going to throw this out the window in a minute. You can use that to leverage your resource to go and build new customer journeys that are every bit as good, but using different technologies.
So you're saying focus on Xero first?
Just get it absolutely nailed. So you get conversion rates perfect. You can acquire customers cheaply through that channel and that channel alone. And then say, hey, look what we built. Isn't it amazing? If we had the money to go and engage with SAP or Sage Line 50 or Sage Pay or whatever, then we could go and do the same thing, but with these other tools, rather than just trying to be some kind of vanilla meh thing that everyone likes a bit, but no one absolutely loves.
Yeah, great feedback. And that's the challenge at the moment is the drop off in this process. We don't know exactly where it is. It seems to be different for everyone, and we don't know why. But somewhere in here, people are just saying, getting confused or something like that. Cool. So it's done. So basically, what it did is it imported all my purchases, assessed the industry that they're in, matched it to public records that we have about each company, and produces a carbon footprint for the business. So then what would happen is the company would come to the main page. They would see their detailed footprint is probably more info than most small businesses would ever want. But from here, they can get the very basic things that they might want. They can get their certification, they can get recommendations, and they can get a very simple report that they can send to their customers. So I think I'm way over in terms of the demo piece. So maybe I'll flip to the questions. Sorry, one right here. Sorry, in the back.
Yeah, in terms of we had to wait for a long time, right, when you've got all the stuff uploading. So I've recently been trying out all these accounting softwares, and what they're really good at actually is saying, okay, let me import all your bank transactions, and actually they'll give you a shitload of toy data to work with in the meantime. So all these screens here, these are great. You've got to go and explore some stuff and figure out how it works. Maybe you can start taking the user through some of that and showing them the fun stuff and the cool graphs actually while they're waiting for all their transactions to import at the same time.
So yeah, background process almost, yeah. Good idea. Sorry, I think, oh, cool. Oh, it's second vote for that one, nice.
I was just wondering if you give the companies any sensitivity analysis in terms of what's jacking up their carbon footprint, what's the recommendation to improve? Like
Yeah.
some feedback, basically. It's not just passive, because if the rating is bad, they won't be interested. But if the rating is potentially could be improved, then they will be interested.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. I can show you, so there's a carbon kind of detail page that gives all kinds of fun graphs. And what we really focus on is, for small businesses, it's not about being good or bad. Really, it's just at this stage about measuring. And that's what we try to make all of our kind of gamification systems about. It's how much data have you put in? Have you accounted for your whole footprint? Have you owned it? That's much more important.
So I'm just really curious where you're getting this data from. Where exactly is it coming from? Where is the criteria? Like, how can I be assured that all the carbon footprint is included? Because I just find it bizarre that it came out of an accounting sheet, You might be missing a lot of things. So where is it coming from? Is there somewhere on the website where it shows the criteria and everything?
Yeah, and that's actually something we've really struggled with. It turns out there's an incredible range of knowledge about carbon footprinting, and people all come in with their own ideas about what it should be. And if you don't have the thing that they're thinking carbon footprint equals on your website, then they're kind of like, I don't know how credible this is. So that's why we built this graphic, which is a bit cartoony, but we tried to at least have every single thing that people think about for carbon in it. And then we do have the ability to kind of click in and see what's your manufacturing footprint, what's your services footprint, what's your air transport, on-site fuel consumption, et cetera. But it's an interesting question. How much education do we do versus how much kind of just exploration do we do for people? In terms of the background algorithms, there's a lot that happens because if you think about a business as really just the sum of its transactions, we do capture everything you'd get in a normal carbon footprint, with the exception of employee travel, which is a scope 3, because it's all in your transactions, your power, your water, your napkins that you buy, everything, much more than would be in a conventional carbon footprint.
Thank you so much, Michael. That's all we've got time for. So a big round of applause.